In this session, we're going to discuss the option to send emails from your Arista switches. The email command places the switch in email client configuration mode. So we'll type config, enter, email, and enter. If you configure a from user and an outgoing SMTP server on the switch, then you can use an email address as the output of show commands. To configure the from user and outgoing SMTP server from within email configuration mode, type from -user space s1 at arista.lab, enter, server, and in this particular lab, I'm going to use 192.168.0.5, enter, and then I can type end to get out of configuration mode. Remember our rule. Verify, verify, verify. So we're going to do a show run section email. And we can see in our email sub configuration mode, we have our from user and our server. And note that the server references the default VRF because I didn't declare a specific VRF. Now, to send the show tech support output to yourself via email, you simply type show tech-support pipe and then type email, and then it would be your email address. So we'll just put in here foo@foo.com. But now, if I were to hit enter, the show tech-support output, which can be pretty long because it includes all of your logging data, your running configuration, and other vital statistics, will be emailed to me from the switch. Another feature you can take advantage of when using the email option is Arista's Event Handler feature. So let's say I wanted to receive an email whenever interface Ethernet 1 on this switch goes up or down. In config mode, so we'll type config and enter, I would type event-handler space question mark, and then we need to name it. So I'm going to call this S1-ETH1 and hit enter. And then I'm going to give it an action. So we're going to do action. We're going to call bash space email space and then my email. So we put foo@foo.com space -s because we want to actually create a subject line and then an opening quote S1-ETH1 space, and then I'm going to put a variable in here. I'm going to put $oper state and then closing quote and hit enter. Now we need to tell it when to run this email command for us. So we're going to do a trigger. So we want the trigger to be on INTF. So in other words, on interface Ethernet, and we're going to do space 1 because I'm interested in the status of Ethernet 1, and then oper status. So anytime the operational status of Ethernet 1 changes, it'll send me an email. Now we also have the option to put in a delay. So if we type delay question mark, we see our options are from 0 seconds up to a 3600 second delay. So I'm just going to put in 30 seconds here. So type 30 and hit enter. And now I can hit exit and then exit again to fully back out of configuration mode. So taking advantage of the oper state variable, we can include the interface status in the subject line of the email. And for verification, we have a few options, including show event-handler, enter. And now in that output, we can see we have an event handler called S1-ETH1 with the trigger on interface Ethernet 1 operational status with a delay of 30 seconds. And then our action is going to be to email foo@foo.com with the subject line of S1-ETH1 and the operator variable, oper state. As you can see, it doesn't take too much work to either send the output of a show command via email or to get even more creative using Arista's event handler, triggered by a certain condition that can also send us emails and includes the option of modifying the subject line with the information we're most interested in.